Mayor.
Mayor,
Mayor.
I would just make the announcement that we're live streaming from the town's Facebook page and not from YouTube.
Okay.
And also that it doesn't, because Facebook changed the rules, that video doesn't stay longer than 30 days.
Yeah.
We can download it.
You can, but it doesn't stay on the page.
Okay. Welcome, everyone. I appreciate your patience as we're trying to get the live stream going. We're live streaming from the town's Facebook page tonight, but it's very important that we have some type of live stream to go out to those citizens that cannot come to our public hearing tonight for various reasons. I'll call the meeting to order, and please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. First item on the agenda tonight is approval of the agenda. Are there any additions or deletions?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion, we have a second. We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor? Seeing none opposed, motion carries. Next item is item number 2, presentations. Under item A, a proclamation recognizing National Gun Violence Awareness Day, and Mayor Pro Tem Dr. Kimwana McCray will read the proclamation.
Good afternoon. I'm going to read the proclamation, and then ladies of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, Chi Epsilon Zeta Chapter, if you would join myself and the mayor up front to present this proclamation to you at the end, I would appreciate it. Whereas every day in the United States, more than 325 people are shot, with over 100 tragically losing their lives, and whereas in 2024, mass shootings in the United States resulted in 507 deaths and over 2,150 injuries. Whereas the town of Hope Mills and the Board of Commissioners have demonstrated a commitment to studying the effects of gun violence in our local community, and whereas the town of Hope Mills, in partnership with the Hope Mills Police Department, the Cumberland County Sheriff's Department, and neighboring communities continue to foster positive relationships between law enforcement and citizens through community engagement events such as National Night Out in our effort to reduce gun violence and crime, and whereas Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated Chi Epsilon Zeta Chapter, chartered in Hope Mills, North Carolina on May 31st, 2003, is dedicated to extending the founding principles of the sorority to Hope Mills and Cumberland County, and whereas social action is a priority for Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, and they aim to inspire, encourage, and empower the sisterhood and take an active role in raising awareness on key issues, including voter registration, mobilizing the community, and fostering relationships with elected officials, and whereas the Chi Epsilon Zeta Chapter continues to be an integral part of the Hope Mills community, contributing to the town's educational, civic, cultural, and economic development, and whereas we honor the memory of those lives who have been tragically taken by gun violence and extend our deepest sympathy to families and communities, we also stand in solidarity with survivors as they continue to heal while working towards a future of safety and peace for all. Now, therefore, the Mayor, Jesse Bell Flowers of the town of Hope Mills in North Carolina, do hereby proclaim June 6, 2025 as Gun Violence Awareness Day in Hope Mills, North Carolina, and encourage all citizens to observe this day by reflecting on the importance of reducing gun violence. Proclaim this day on the 2nd of June, 2025. Would you please join us at the front, please?
Mayor, there's a hard copy as well in your folder. This is it.
We got it.
Oh, just kidding.
Yeah, we have it.
Mayor, you want to say it again?
I can. Just wherever you want. Next up, is the reason why we're here tonight. We're here tonight to listen to the public. We changed up things a little different than we've done in past years. In past years, we've usually had the public hearing on the same night that the budget would be considered for adoption. This year, because there's so many moving parts and pieces to this budget with the reevaluation, we decided to do the right thing. And that is, before we get to a workshop, which will be 1 week from tonight, which will be the board's workshop, we're going to listen to the public. This isn't our budget, the board's budget, town manager's budget, or finance director. It's every citizen that lives in this community. When I mean our, it's our budget. It's the largest in the town's history. Of course, I say that every year. It's $22 million to provide services for the next year. So, tonight, town staff will take notes. The board will take notes. And we're here just to listen to the citizens. Now, those that aren't here tonight and probably couldn't come for various reasons that are live streamed, if you have comments, you have questions, please send them to the town manager by email, and they will be addressed. Every comment, every question will be answered, regardless of what it is. So here are the rules for tonight. During the public hearing, each speaker is asked to limit comments to 3 minutes. And we'll have the clock going over on the wall. Please direct all comments to the full board, not to an individual board member or town staff member. Although the board is interested in hearing comments, speakers should not expect board action or deliberation or any subject matter brought up during the public hearing segment, which is tonight. Tonight's public hearing is only for citizens to share their comments regarding the FY 2025-2026 town operating budget. Comments requiring further investigation will be referred to the town manager and town finance director. The only thing that I ask for tonight is respect and decorum. That's the only thing that I ask for tonight. We're here to listen, we want to listen, and we hope that that what you have to share with us tonight will be beneficial for the workshop a week from tonight. Because the budget is just being proposed. It's not final, it's not done, not etched. There's still some work that's going to have to be done on the budget as we go forward in this month. But we have to adopt one before the end of this month. But we'll do it together, and that starts tonight. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
Motion to open public hearing.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All in favor? Seeing none opposed, the public hearing is now open. There's not going to be a lineup. I'm just going to ask whoever wants to come up first, just come up to the mic and speak. Sir?
Yes, Mayor. My name's Kelly Sykes. I think with the taxes going up, we shouldn't add anything new, like the cameras going around Hope Mills. I don't think they're needed. I think down the road, the county may even take that. And they have a site where they can look at cameras throughout the whole county. So I'd let the county have that burden. Even with outdoor rec, they took away a lot of Hope Mills money. Let maybe the county do the outdoor rec. But I've heard people say there's not enough ball fields here in Hope Mills. I go to a park on 87 or down, not on 87, but a park, and nobody's on the ball fields. So maybe by having it throughout the whole county, the teams would play more teams. They would have more ball fields to play at, and it may come to our advantage. And at the same time, it would lessen the amount of money that we had to pay as taxpayers and as the city. That's all I got.
very much, sir. Okay, next.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Ronald Carlin. I'm here to talk about the pending tax increase. Even though the rate has been lowered, which you presented pretty well, however, you forgot to tell people it's gonna be an increase in taxes. The value of my home went up over $100,000. And I've been figuring, my taxes you're proposing will go exceed $300 more just on the house. This is a point in time, based on what I list you talking about in the budget, I think there was more of what we want rather than what we need. There's many different things that we can do. If one thing is to tell you right now, this whole board, if it goes through, the bottom line is you will not be affected by the taxes. And you'll say why? Because each and every one of you are being paid by the citizens of Hope Mills. Therefore, any tax increase, you can pay for that without touching your bottom line. And I'm not wrong on that. The only person who spoke out was Miss Craver. She understands what this is going. It's going up. You've got people in this town that's living slowly on Social Security. Social Security hasn't gone up that much. The state of North Carolina increased automobile insurance this year. It's already a done deal for next year. Home insurance went up this year. PWC's gone up. With that, the people who are living paycheck to paycheck cannot stand this. There's, like I said, there's a lot of it. We want this, but we just can't afford that right now. We run that police department for years, and I'm not picking on them. There was nobody in there at night except for the dispatchers, civilians. If they needed an officer, they'd call it in. If you're worried about that, put a call box in to call communications straight to Cumberland County and have them send an officer straight to the PD if you gotta do that. We've gotta tighten our belt up and save money. Now, I don't know if it's being done. And I'm not picking on the PD, but they're probably the largest consumer of gasoline in this town. Are you aware of the fact that as a town entity, you do not have to pay taxes on that fuel? You do at the pump, but the town files paperwork to get that taxes back. What they can do is go through it and put that tax back in their budget. It is their money. It's the same thing I did when I was police chief over at Parkland. That was the deal. When the taxes come back, it went back in my budget for the money. And I had my officers go to a station in here that was roughly 10 cents cheaper than it was over there to save the money, to make it last a little longer. I really think y'all really need to think about this real seriously. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay?
Go ahead, Wayne.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, staff. Good to see y'all tonight. I don't think anybody's gonna like me right now, okay? So I'm gonna think I'm so glad I'm so small that I'll just get out of this place, right? Okay, I come before y'all to beg for money, okay? And what I'm thinking of is the landscaping in the town is getting old. And it's starting to need to be replaced. It's just starting to get extremely old and it doesn't look good. If they ever finish Rockfish Road, I feel sure there's going to be a lot of planning and changing things to make it look better in that area. We also need to be thinking about downtown Hope Mills, if we can put any landscaping down there, what we can do. But we need to start kind of planning. That's something we haven't done. When's the last time we put any shrubs out? Probably when we get town, okay? So there's not any shrubs been put out since that, and that's been quite a few years ago. So and if you look at those, they're dying too, and that happens. The ones down the lake are dying. But my thing is, if we can put a little money away this year, maybe we spend a little of it, keep it in the pot, so to speak, don't put it back in the general funds, and save it. If next year we got a little bit more money, then we can start doing things. A little bit more money here, okay? So if we can have a budget, I'd like to say $10,000, but that's just not gonna happen, okay? So let's say 5, 6, 550. Anyway, what y'all can afford to do, and maybe we save it this year, we don't spend it. because we can wait till next year. We'll have more money to do something with. See what I'm saying? It's kind of like putting some money in a savings account and you're saving up for a new car or whatever. So we save up for this money and then we can go in and redo the landscaping, put in more trees down at the lake if we chose to. We've got Heritage Park that's coming up. For sure there'll be something there. As much work as we've done, there's still going to be planting of shrubs or something that we will want to beautify the place, okay? So I hope that you will think about it. I know that it's tight. I understand, okay? But I think this is something that we should have done a few years ago and nobody really thought about it. If you talk about landscaping, we're always put at the end of the tail of the thing, okay? You're the last ones. You are when you're building things, it's just like that, okay? But we need to do that and keep our town looking really pretty, okay? Thank y'all.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. Before you start that, so in Italian culture and the Persian culture, they usually apologize for their appearance or something, or they tell a joke. So I'm just going to apologize for not having a joke. With that being said, go ahead. It's my firm belief as a 10-year veteran of law enforcement, a service member, that if you can pull funds away from help, let's just say the Parks and Rec budget, and I know that sorry, Marco, I know I'm speaking against what I stand on, and send that to public safety all day long. With Fayetteville imputing a curfew, that is going to bleed over into Hope Mills. Hope Mills is the only township that has family-oriented events neighboring Cumberland County. Spring Lake don't have it. Eastover, Stedman, all Parkton, they don't have the ability to be able to have family-oriented events the way we do. With that being said, it's going to cause an influx in volume of people. People come with problems. Problems come with public safety issues. With that being said, if you can take away from anything else, let NCDOT handle the roads. Lord knows they got to sign off on the permitting anyway, and they're going to take their time. When this thing comes in, it's a 3-year project. Everybody complaining about the roads are not going to be complaining anymore. When this thing comes in, they're going to be like, oh my God, it's going to be such a tragedy that this little roundabout's coming in on this corner. Then they're going to stop complaining about the roads. And it's going to be that they're going to complain about. Please increase and or pull from whatever you can to give the police and fire their money. For the love of God. Next thing. I'm actually going to contradict myself here. The new Parks and Rec building doesn't need to be on the golf course. And I know I've been slamming that down y'all's throat forever. But knowing that the center median's coming in, as is the parking is going to be heck, they have a proposal on 301, or maybe potentially down closer to Camden, and in this open space would be a better place to have it traffic-wise. So with that being said, I just implore you guys, please, give public safety and Parks and Rec as much money as you can so that they both coincide together. We teach these kids values to respect authority, let them keep them off of his blotter, right? And then just give them something to do and engage their energy in a positive way. And at the end of the day, we're making Hope Mills a better place. The fuel thing that the gentleman was talking about, that's already in place. If you actually read it, Hope Mills gets that money back for the fuel tax. It's the same thing as a 501(c) in a daggone church. They pay, then they get it back. It's that simple. All right, thanks guys. Have a good night.
Thank you very much, sir. Next.
Evening, everybody. I'm Reaper Harwell. Basic, carrying out what he's saying too. Just give you my 3 minutes. I'm from a big city, Memphis, Tennessee to be exact. All right, and then the thing is, everybody gonna have their issues and concerns about spending money and everything. But because I'm from a big city, I'm gonna tell you, you want to be ahead of the curve than behind the curve. Yeah. You need the law enforcement now. It's hard to build a program when crime starts getting too bad. You gotta have something in place. It's like the military. You don't go to a war without having something in place. All right. So you have to have it in place. You need to have your fire people in place. You need to have your police officers in place. Not only that, you need to have your town's people in place. Everybody's talking about the budget and everything, that we need to cut money and stuff. Unfortunately, I'm one of the ones that say in order to live the right way, that you want to spend some money, you got to pay your people correctly. Because if you don't pay the people here, they don't go somewhere else to get a job. And then when they go somewhere else to get a job, where you pay that low pay here, you're going to get low standard work. So you got to understand what you're paying for. You're paying for quality work. You're paying police officers to do their job to protect you, so you want to protect yourself. You're paying the fire department for, guess what? When you have a fire, you can put your fire out. You can come out in your road and say, put the fire out for me because I'm paying you for this. Amen. You know, so understand what we're paying people for. And let's not cut the corners about who getting paid what. And like I say, you got to pay the state. And unfortunately, the taxes is a big issue for everybody. But understand this is not a Hope Mills issue. This is a North Carolina issue overall, because 95 is getting widened, 295 is getting widened. Building is going to happen whether we want to or not. It's going to happen. So we can say we're going to be a part of the problem or part of the solution. And we got to work together to make a middle ground for where everybody can live comfortable. But going back to the old ways, how you used to live in a small town, them days are gone. I mean, you can call me what you want to call me, but from what I'm seeing, those days are gone. Once you get that 295 intersection in here, it's a wrap. Everybody's coming through this town. Everybody's coming through. Hope Mills is on the map now. It's a destination to travel. Embrace that by putting your people in place to be successful. That means when you have people coming through here, getting that gas, all that type of stuff, that's money coming back into Hope Mills. But it's going to be a learning curve for all of us to go through that. And lastly, when we all have problems, we all have situations, just like the mayor was saying earlier, just respect that person's opinion. Don't attack that person or that person's character. Just say what you got to say, and you're not wrong, sir, for what you said earlier. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. Everybody has their opinion on things and stuff, but we got to respect everybody's opinion, respect everybody's viewpoint, and see how can we come together to make it work. Because again, it's going to grow no matter what.
Amen.
All right, that's all. Thank you.
I thank you very much, sir. Next.
I'm Marie Calendar, and I want to piggyback in agreement with Sally that instead of taking the money that we have left over, why not roll it over? I've been asking that question for several years because I'm like, why? We still need money, so why are you going to take it and then give it back somewhat? Just roll it over and just let us add to it, because there's so many things that the Appearance Commission want to do, and the citizens are complaining about, but we can't do anything about it. We've been begging for money since 2016 and haven't gotten anything. There's lots of things that we see that needs to be done and that wants to be done, but our hands are tied, and the citizens are complaining like, well, the Appearance Commission don't do anything. Yeah, we do. We beg, and we are not getting into place with that. So I'm in agreement with Sally about we need new landscaping, and we need decorations for events, Veterans Day, etc. And we are working on all these things. Maintenance for the gateways, we're working on that. They are getting overgrown, but we don't have funds to do that with, and we can't get volunteers, so we're back to asking for a couple of dollars more than we usually get. So I think that you should consider forwarding the money and not taking it back, and then give us the same amount that you gave us the last time. Let that $1,000 roll over and then just add a little bit to it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
This is intimidating. Yeah. Hi, my name is Nora Armstrong, and I live on Archer Road. My then husband and I bought our house in 1992, and we paid $78,000 for it. The last time before this, it was valued at $121,300. This time, it was valued at $238,500. That's a 96% increase. And I thought, how am I gonna pay my taxes? With the county's revaluation, that only went up 37.2%. With the town, my town taxes are going up 73.4%. I'm on a fixed income. And I'm comfortable on a fixed income because I have another source, but a lot of people are not. That's been mentioned before. A lot of people are gonna struggle very hard to meet this. And I wanna tell you just a short cautionary tale, if I might. I grew up in the western suburbs of Chicago. The town that I lived in was a nice mix of blue-collar working people and early career professionals. And it was a nice mix. And then about 1972, the town had a revaluation and they redid their taxes. And almost a third of the town's population had to move because they could no longer afford the taxes. And I would hate to see that happen to Hope Mills. I have a lot of time left, but I'm not going to use it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? We got plenty of time.
Are we allowed to deliver good news instead of working against 3 minutes?
I want to give everyone the opportunity that's here to at least speak.
Accurate.
Yeah, and did for 3 minutes.
We have candy, I'm all down.
Well, I've got these notes so far, just to let you know what my notes look like. Hopefully, I can add more to this.
I have a question. I sent you a list. Is that good enough? Should I send that to the town manager or?
You didn't send me I don't think you sent the board a list.
No, it was to you on your page. You might not have seen it.
I don't think so.
Okay.
It wasn't you didn't, come up to the mic, please. If you remember what the list is.
It was in reply to our ongoing conversation. I'm Cindy Hamilton. But one of the things I wanted to hit on was training. I see that we went from 1 year it was $4,000 and it jumped up to $18,000. I know when I worked for the federal government, instead of sending everybody, we sent one person or two people. And they brought back all the information to share it with the other ones. They finally did away with that because of the budget constraints, and they went to Zoom meetings, so we actually weren't allowed to go to any training. We did it by Zoom meeting. I know you probably can't do that in this line of business, but I think the training budget is excessive. That was one of the things. And I'm gonna talk about the police department as well. I know the chief's tired of listening to me, but I do agree that we need more funding for the police officers. I mean, I really do. I see where the overtime was cut, and I don't agree with that. The last time I talked to the police occasionally lately, but they said they have 2 to 3 or 3 or 4 officers per 12-hour shift. So if we have 60 officers, why are we only having 3 to 4 officers per shift? Because if I need somebody out there, now sometimes they get out there quickly with the 4-wheelers and the shooting. Sometimes it takes them a little longer. Of course, if they're on emergencies, they can't get there, and I understand that. But why don't we have more police officers out there to help the people with the growing population, the growing crime? I really believe they don't need to cut the overtime for the police. That needs to, in fact, they probably need to increase it to protect the citizens, because that's what we pay them to do. And if they don't have the money to do that, well, then the citizens suffer for that. so I really think they need to do that. In Parks and Recreation, I see where they want a 4x6 LTD message center. Didn't they just get one for they want a budget for $29,000? It's for a marquee at the lake or something.
Okay.
Didn't they just get one? So I'm just wondering why we need to spend $29,000 for, I'm just looking at ways to save money. I'm not criticizing anybody. And a new vehicle for
I'll write them down.
$39,200, a F-150.
Should have been Dodge.
Excuse me? I didn't hear what he said.
It should have been a Dodge.
Oh, yeah.
Are you still in Parks and Rec?
I'm looking.
Okay.
Yeah, they want, budget $20,000 for Christmas decorations. I don't see where they need $20,000 just for a few lights on the poles. And I don't know who's responsible for those Christmas trees they put up the lake, but I don't think that's Parks and Rec. No, that's different organizations, I think. Am I time up?
Your time is up.
Okay, but that's kind of what I want to say.
Did you get it all out though?
The training, just one more thing. I see they eliminated the funding for Old Mill Day. Is there a reason for that? I mean, that's a Old Mill's tradition. There's nothing budgeted for Old Mill Day, and I really believe they need to take care of that.
Okay, thank you.
That's it, that's all.
Okay. Anyone else? I know you're ready to go there, Coach Mo, but I want to make sure that we get the whole purpose of tonight. The whole purpose of this meeting is the public hearing for the operating budget. I just want to kind of keep it centered to those comments tonight. If there's any other general comments about any other business in the town, we'll hear those on June 16th here in regular board public comments. But I just wanted to make sure that we had the opportunity tonight.
Mayor, are citizens still allowed to contact the town manager after tonight's meeting to give us more suggestions?
They are. I said that earlier, and those that are live streaming tonight, and if you have questions or concerns that are not addressed tonight, please email the town manager. Like I said earlier, our next meeting will be next Monday at 6 in this room, and then it's our turn for the budget workshop, and we'll look at the budget based on the comments that all of you've made tonight. And we've all got notes. I've almost got a full page of them now, almost. I can go to my second page if somebody will come up and give me some more.
Let me do it.
All right.
You can start writing. Now, I would like, Mike Gillis, by the way, I live over here in Gulf Paper. I heard rumor, and I just want to substantiate that, because I've had to use the guy several times over the years, and we had to use him recently for a bunch of feral cats. And now I understand the animal control officer is not being budgeted for in the new budget. Is that true? If so, will one firefighters or the police officers come out and do something for the rabid animals, or?
Mike, we wasn't really going to address the budget as the board, but I will address this one. In the proposed budget, animal control, all those expenses are not budgeted because we are under the county ordinance for animal control. So the budget is proposed without funding the animal control officer.
I would say, and I heard the remarks, you want to be prepared, right?
You're right.
Okay. So if you want to be prepared, you can't do it afterwards unless one of the commissioners volunteer to go pick up feral cats, or the police officers, firefighters, public work. It pays to be prepared. The other thing, I really like basics, I worked in food service, and if you don't pay attention to basics, you often fail. You gotta clean as you go, you gotta do the right thing. And one of the basics, at the intersection of Lakeview and Hope Mills Road, Hope Mills South, right? And then Gulfview and Rockfish, the American flags are getting tattered already. They're visible. That needs to be fixed.
Yes.
That's a basic. That's ASAP. This is 95% military town.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Mike, I want you to know I'm on my second page now.
Very good.
Okay.
Perfect.
Don't let this pen stop writing.
Thank you.
Process of this budget has not been an easy endeavor. Not by the board and not by the department, all the various departments in town that have had to go back and relook and relook and relook to come up with the proposed budget that we have tonight that was proposed 2 weeks ago. As I said earlier, it's a $22 million budget. Based on what I'm hearing tonight, there's some things that maybe the board will revisit and look at. But I have to say this. It's all going to be about funding. Because services aren't free. One of the things that we heard earlier at this board, your board, is that public safety was paramount. And it is. And if you look at this budget, you'll see exactly how paramount the funding is for this budget. To open up that police department that's not open 24/7, but to open it up completely on a 24/7 is something that we have not done in this community. And that's something that citizens have told us since January that they would like to see. And I'm hearing it tonight, the same thing. And you're right, we have to get in front of it. And this is taking a proactive measure because our town is growing with residential and commercial properties, more and more and more. You know, it's almost every meeting now, we have an annexation or a zoning case. Just about. And members of the board will know that. So we're increasing the amount of people that are moving and choosing Hope Mills to live and raise their families, which is a good thing, because that's why we're here. But those public safety services have to be in place as well. And that's just not inside the town of Hope Mills. It's in different areas that's outside. And you're right. When the widening projects are done and 295 is finished, guess what that's going to look like. But just know that this budget is still a work in progress. We'll continue to look at it. We'll continue to craft it. But we also got to be mindful of how we're going to fund it. And one of the challenges that has been said since January, actually last year, we knew this, was the end of the sales tax agreement in next year's budget going to ad valorem. That is a $2 million expense that is absorbed in this budget. There was a sales tax agreement between the municipalities that only pertained to last year on a 50-50 split. It has nothing to do with this budget or the next operating year. I wish it did. I wish we had an opportunity for a 50-50 split, because then we could save 5 cents on taxes, on the property tax rate. Anyone else? I'm going to give the last one to Coach Mo if there's no one else, and then we're going to close the public hearing.
Promise you'll like it. And
All
it's
right.
free.
All right, Coach Mo, you're going to close us out, and then I'll ask for the motion to close the public hearing.
So I would like to gift the town something, because we had an amazing event a couple weeks ago back at the park over in Eddington? Ed Harrington, excuse me. I grew up in New York City, well, not that. Anyway, two of the firefighters, firefighter Mabe and firefighter Gerber, came up with an interesting idea that on Lexington Street, there's a parcel of property that's owned by the township that nothing's going on with it. If I'm correct, and Emily's right, when I conferred with her earlier, there's some power lines down there. But that parcel could get turned into a dog park, which I have secured funding for the fence, and potential water necessities if need be. So pending any approval between the board, chancellor, and surveying, I'd like to, on my own dollar, turn that into a dog park. So it doesn't affect your budget. It's funded, and we bring something a little bit more positive into that community. So they have the park for the kids, and something for the families who don't just have little pups, and they consider them their fur babies. That's it.
I appreciate it, Coach Mo. It is a good idea.
And we name it after those firefighters we talked about.
Yep. There's no funding in this budget to improve Ed Herring Park. There's none. There's no funding in this budget to improve the playground at the lake park. Okay, that's it? No one else?
Motion to close public hearing.
We have a motion to close the public hearing. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion by the board before we close? All in favor? Seeing none opposed, the public hearing is now closed. The remaining items on the agenda tonight is just reports and informational items. It's a reminder, tomorrow night's Prime Movers meeting. Of course, we'll be back here next Monday night with our budget workshop, and the public is cordially invited to attend. Homelessness Advisory Committee is Tuesday, June 10th. Historic Preservation Commission is Wednesday, June 11th. Thursday is the Cultural Arts Committee, that's June 12th. June 23rd is Parks and Rec Advisory Committee. Tuesday, June 24th is the Appearance Commission meeting. And then June 16th, it's not listed here, but June 16th is our next regular town board meeting that night. And the budget definitely will be for consideration on that night. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second. We are adjourned, and I thank you very much for coming. And I will say this one more time before we jump off. If there is anyone that is live streamed tonight and you have comments, questions, concerns, anything to deal with this budget, please email them to the town manager. And I thank you very much. Good evening.
We gotta figure something out for our next